It's so sacred to take care of that space in your home that is your kitchen, where you nourish yourself. And when we're nourishing ourselves with people who are not nourishing themselves and who in fact are taking and not connected to the externalities, to the ripples of what they are causing in the world, when they are taking and leaving plastic here and just throwing it on the counter and expecting someone to clean it up and wipe it off and do their dishes for them, they're no relationship to what their power is. Hello, it is Taylor here, and welcome to the Wealthy Changemaker. I'm here in Croatia. You can see that it's raining in this very moment. There's a car driving up a hill, and there's a house being built right on the other side. I love the authenticity of saying, oh, what the fuck, I'm just gonna do it. And a really powerful thing that's just been burning and yearning on my mind that I can't stop thinking about is, like, what do you do when you live with someone who throws their shit everywhere? I've been just thinking about, I'm in a new space right now with newer roommates. And it's such a big topic when we live in a world where so many of us live with a roommate where we feel like we're being just maybe disrespected. We're cleaning up after people because they're not taking care of themselves and their environment. And what do we do when we feel like we're living with someone that takes, right? And the question starts with me perceiving that in somebody that's in front of me. But what this process really does powerfully is it brings me into my own experience, which is the one seeing somebody that is, I love it. There's a dirt truck coming up the hill. There's a thunderstorm that was happening, and yet these people are still trying to build the house and dig all the soil out of the ground. It's crazy to understand the momentum and the movement of everybody around me as I'm just observing. And what's really powerful about what I'm experiencing here is there's a lot of discomfort in living with someone who you feel not seen or disrespected by, or somebody who is literally throwing their trash on the counter and dirtying the dishes in your kitchen. They don't respect the space. They leave a mess wherever they go. They ask you to do things and they get upset when they don't get what they want from you. And then they just kind of walk around with a cloud, a rainstorm over their head. It's funny because I love thunderstorms. So of course it makes so much sense to talk about the topic where we feel like we're around someone all the time who has a thunderstorm going over their head. And this is a really big piece of conflict. And when we're talking about conflict, when I'm talking about conflict, what is really amazing about this topic is when we understand dissonance, two different experiences coming together and being misaligned in what they believe about the world and what nourishes them, right? And when that happens, we start to see anger, blame, victimization. There's so many different things that come up when we see conflict. Some people, these are the ones that are extremely exciting to bring attention and awareness to. Some people, when they see conflict, see possibility, and they're able to create something incredible from the conflict in front of them that does not propel a cycle that destructs continuously the people involved, the beings involved in the conflict. What that means is conflict offers this opportunity for transformation. And so as I'm talking about the roommate who dirties the kitchen, right? The one who doesn't clean up, and if you ask them to clean up, says, you don't understand me, you don't understand stress and how much I have to do and how busy I am, and by the way, can you do this for me? This type of experience with somebody is such a gift. As much as I've been, I wake up to a kitchen just full of dishes, dirty dishes and pots and pans with no space to create something new yet. And so I'm waking up to this perception of I get to clean up someone else's mess so that I can create. Now, what I don't realize in the process of seeing that mess is that's also part of my creation. Now, the thing is it's not aligned with what I really desire to be creating through me, which is expression, which is connection, which is unity. And that process of me cleaning up someone else's mess is not a process of unity. That's a cycle of someone who is in self-destruction and is not allowing themselves to get the support they need, and is not owning and claiming that they are loved and supported at all times, to create with ease and to create with clarity and to create with space and to create with connection and acceptance of support. So what I'm saying here is it's a massive, massive microcosm. I call it the dirty kitchen conundrum. And the dirty kitchen conundrum is really, oh, here we go with another dirt truck. It's the perfect day for it. You know, you'd think that these neighborhoods, I'm looking at the Mediterranean Sea right now, it's covered in clouds. And as I'm looking at the sea and I see this truck go by and I hear the thunder over my head, it brings me back into just an extremely present experience. And then it gets exciting to start thinking about the possibility that opens up when I see that the way that I'm spending a lot of my time and the way that somebody else is spending a lot of their time is in disconnection, in disconnection communication, disconnection in understanding of each other. And as I see that, there's this like beautiful amount of space that opens up. And that space is this awareness of the situation, the dynamic that I'm in this conflict. Being able to understand the dynamic that I'm in a conflict, that I'm the one supporting in this situation. I'm cleaning up after someone who's asking me to do more, who's claiming that space, and I haven't said no. I haven't said this is my boundary. And that's where I get to sit down and say, this is my boundary. What can we create from this? Because this is how we get to take care of the space. And I want you to know that as I'm saying this, you are so loved. You are so loved and supported at all times. And so we can create something together, but leaving this and expecting someone to clean up your mess for you, that's not going to work in this house. And we get to talk about what that looks like to share a kitchen, because I'm here now. And you are here. You are so here. And this example of the dirty kitchen conundrum, when you have a roommate that is leaving the kitchen so messy or the house so messy, this gives the ultimate opportunity to understand what's happening on a global scale. Is we have been dirtying each other's kitchens and dirtying our own kitchens and not cleaning them up for a long time. And not only is our body getting stressed out, our calendar is full, we feel always tired, right? Not only is the dirty kitchen conundrum like causing us to feel this about ourselves, but it's rippling into our communities. It's rippling into our families, the people that live in our home, which is so sacred. It's so sacred to take care of that space in your home that is your kitchen, where you nourish yourself. And when we're nourishing ourselves with people who are not nourishing themselves and who in fact are taking and not connected to the externalities, to the ripples of what they are causing in the world, when they are taking and leaving plastic here and just throwing it on the counter and expecting someone to clean it up and wipe it off and do their dishes for them, they're in no relationship to what their power is. And that is something I'm learning as I'm watching myself in reflection of the people that are sharing a kitchen with me. And when I become aware of that, and I see this happening on a global scale politically the United States is a big example. They've been dirtying the kitchen for so many countries for so long. And I'm using them as an example because this is really hot and it's fresh. And I could give you the Dutch, who had the slave trade in the Golden Triangle to the United States and built Amsterdam and their entire cities off of the gold that they gained from these years trading people from Africa that they didn't have the sovereignty to trade, and in that forceful manner. And we see societies that are built from this, like the Netherlands, and we wonder why we have such innovation and creativity because they're supported, and yet simultaneously we have a government where the far right is gaining momentum because these are the seeds that planted our foundations. And the way that our foundations are moving in our culture, in our families, in our politics, in our governance, this is causing us to feel crippling. Our jobs aren't serving, and our world is self-destructing. Our world has so much richness and wealth, and yet we are not in relationship with the riches and the wealth in a way that gives back to what we're taking from, to what we're receiving from. In fact, we're not even in relationship with what we're receiving most of the time. And this is why this expression of what I'm saying right now is so important, is because we get to be in relationship with what is around us. And that means the conflicts around us. That means the incredible energy potential of where we're spending our time. And if we're in conflict, which my guess is if you live in today's world, you are in conflict somewhere. If not, then let's talk about what conflict is. Actually, I'm going to make another video about what conflict is. Because there's a lot of things that are not aligned right now in our world. And that's where we feel this, Trump getting shot and people wearing bandages on their ears in solidarity, and people, like Russia and Ukraine in this conflict, that when we speak these words, you feel a certain energy change around you. You could be talking about something fun, and then you speak the name of this person, or you speak the name of this country, or the name of this neighbor of yours, and you speak that name and you feel an energy change, then this is where the work is done. Or on the family members that you have a hard time speaking their name, because I'm sure somewhere you have one. And that's a beautiful thing, because we start there with a family member that you can't speak the name of. Hello, cars. Hi. And when we have a family member we can't speak the name of, I feel it in my heart, because I have 3 off the top that bring so much sadness and despair. And this is where the transformational work starts, is in your family, because this is how we're going to change the world. It's not starting with the seas or the skies or the technology. It starts here, and it starts in our family, in our closest circles of connection. And when we can work with that, we can work with the family members we're in conflict with, I can guarantee you that the technology is going to start shifting, and we're going to have a different relationship with the technology. Or the seas, we're going to see them differently and be in connection and love with them. And when that's the case, well, boy, do I want to be in that world. So here's the family conflict and conflict transformation. With all my love and light, I invite you to just write down a couple of things that stuck with you, and write down the name of one family member that you have a hard time speaking, and bring light and ease to their name. You don't have to talk to them. You don't have to see them or look at a picture of them. But write their name, someone who maybe hurt you, somebody who left you, somebody who violated you, somebody who broke your heart and made you feel like maybe you need to protect yourself. Write that person's name down. And just imagine yourself giving light and ease and awareness to this word, the word that you write down, that is their name. And when you're writing that down, with ease and you're looking at it with an awareness of the feelings that it brings up for you, congratulations, that's a massive jump. So write down a name, super easy work. Wow, I love it. Okay, here's to you, here's to that name, and here's to releasing and transforming whatever's holding on to your energy. Okay, ciao.